Hi everyone, this is Vortex259 and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Dragon Warrior 3 for the Game Boy Color. In our previous video, we used the wake dust to awaken the sleeping village of No Annuals. Everybody in this town was placed under a sleeping curse, but no longer. Everyone's just starting to wake up in this town, so I thought I'd spend a little bit of time talking to the villagers and maybe get some insight about where to go next on our quest. So let's start off by talking to this gentleman standing in front of the town gate, and he's just starting to wake up, and he welcomes us to No Annuals. Now let's go over here on the southern side of town. You might remember last time we talked to this little boy, or at least he was asleep the last time we talked to him, and he was apparently dreaming about his grandpa, but he suddenly remembers that he was on his way to Grandpa's house when he was hit by the curse. And his grandpa is none other than the village elder, the only man in town that was not affected by the sleeping curse for whatever reason. The last time we talked to him, he was on the second floor of the house, but now he's out in his front yard, overjoyed because he can hear the people stirring. He doesn't know who we are, but he thanks us profusely, so overcome with joy. Apparently the sleeping curse had been in effect for a very long time. And we can actually confirm that by talking to this old gentleman right here. He says, "What is going on here? I take a nap and awaken to find the village overrun by weeds." Well, yeah, you've been asleep a long time, dude. And if we talk to this guy right here, he says, "Yeah, that was a great nap. How many years was I asleep?" Haha, just joking, no one can sleep for years. Well, not unless you're hit by a sleeping curse, that is. And this lady's just a bit embarrassed. "Oh dear, I was sleeping outside here? How embarrassing. But why was I asleep outside, and why does it feel like I was asleep for ages?" So, yeah, everybody's been asleep for a long time. Now, if you talk to this lady, she says, "I must have dozed off. Did you do anything funny?" Well, this is kind of a no-win situation, because if you say no, she's offended. "Oh, I'm that unattractive?" But if you say yes, you did do something funny, she says, "How rude." Yeah, anybody remember that 80s sitcom Full House? Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that show, but for some reason that line reminded me of it. Well, here on the second floor of the inn, we can talk to this lady here, and apparently she knows Hero's father, Ortega. And she's upset because Ortega's left. Apparently he saved her from monsters and led her back to the village. But Ortega left alone yesterday. Oh wow. So apparently this village was hit by the curse the day after Ortega left. And you might remember Hero was only a little boy the day that Ortega left. So using that logic, this village has been placed under a sleeping curse for probably about 12 or 13 years. So that is a long time to be asleep. If we talk to this warrior, he says, "What, you're Eliahan's Hero Ortega's son?" Well, yes, I am. Ortega stayed next door until he left just yesterday, or so it seemed like yesterday. But he said he was going to Ashalam to find a magic key. Oh, okay, we want to keep that in mind. Apparently the village of Ashalam, there may be a magic key there. But I'm not sure if it was yesterday. I have this odd feeling that I slept for years. So, yeah. It looks like our next location may be the village of Ashalam to the east. And if we talk to this fighter, he said he stopped for a rest while he was traveling, and then, what was I doing? Anyway, I heard about a magic key when I was staying in Ashalam, a town east of Romilly. Okay, so looks like next we want to go east of Romilly to the town of Ashalam to see if we can find us a magic key. Apparently he has memory problems. I guess that happens when you've been asleep for a long time. Okay, well, I think we've got enough information to know where to go next. We want to go east of Romilly in search of a magic key. And I guess it's time to maybe buy some new equipment. So if we talk to the item shop merchant here, we can buy some new stuff. So let's see what's for sale here. You can purchase a steel sword, which I've already got equipped on Glenn. I'll probably keep that boomerang for now for Hero. You can also get a wizard staff, which I believe will cast the blaze spell when used as an item in battle. But what I want to spend my gold on are on 2 evade cloaks. I want to get one for Pete. That will take his defense up to 49, and wow, that'll be good defense for Matt. a good defense increase, that is, from 30 to 38. So I'm going to go ahead and buy 2 of those. We'll give one to Pete here and go ahead and equip that. And let's go ahead and buy 1 more for Matt there. Okay, just in case you're curious what else the shop sells, you can get repellent, a warp wing, a moon herb, and an item called a spider web, which will slow your enemies in battle, but not really worth a gold in my opinion. So I've got a lot of items I need to sell off in my inventory, so I'm going to take just a moment and sell all that off and rearrange my inventory, and I'll meet you back here in just a second. Well, I bet that only seemed like a second to you. It actually took me about a minute to a minute and a half, but you can see I sold off some of my items, such as that kilt, sold off the spear and the leather dress that we found in some of those treasure chests in that cave to the west of No Annuals. So I made a couple of thousand gold there by selling off all those items. So just to get you up to speed on my current stats, I did a little bit of level grinding since the last time we met. So you can see I got Hero up to level 13. Glenn, Pete, and Matt are now at level 14. And I've learned a few new spells. Pete has learned, let's see, what has he learned since the last time we met? Looks like he's learned the Heal More spell and the Stop spell. Heal More will recover a lot more HP than the Heal spell will. And Stop spell will basically silence your enemies, keep them from casting spells. And Matt's learned some new spells as well. He's learned the Slow All spell. And he can also now use Firebane, which is a little bit stronger than the Fireball spell. Will attack one group of enemies, which is nice. So what I'm going to do now is cast the Return spell, and we'll head on back to Romilly, because we want to head east of there to head to Ashelum in search of that magic key. So let's get out of No Annuals here, and we're going to head to the east a little ways from Romilly. We're about where that feather is, and we're going to cross a bridge there. And we'll go south through some plains and some forests and eventually some mountains, and Ashelum should be fairly nearby there. So let's see what we can find. And as soon as we cross the bridge up here, we'll run into some new monsters. Such as this one. This one is called the Catfly, and they can use the Stop spell on you, which will keep you from using some of your good spells on them. So I'm just going to have Pete attempt to cast Infernos, and why not try to attempt that Firebane spell there. But yeah, they've got pretty good agility, so they'll have a pretty good chance of sealing your spells before you have a chance to attack. But Hero's going to attack all of them with the boomerang there. Oh good, Matt's going to be able to cast the Firebane spell. Yeah, that's some pretty good damage. 30 plus on all of them. So from them we'll get 65 experience points and 80 gold coins. Oh yeah, and one thing I meant to do is I was going to show you the new medals that I've found since the last time we met. Well, let's see, I found the... can't remember if I showed you the Madhound medal. I think I did. That's number 23. Toadstool is number 24. I got the Carnamoth, number 27. And I found Wild Ape, number 31. And we can run into some of those wild apes here in the plains. And that actually was a battle with the Wild Ape, along with 3 vampires. And another Wild Ape and 3 vampires in that battle. And here's the village of Ashelum, so we've made it. Alright, let's see what kind of goodies we can find here in this town. Looks like a pretty quiet town so far. I guess the first place I want to go to is the inn. Not necessarily to rest up right now, but I do want to check this dresser in this room right down here. And if we check the dresser, inside we will find some bug powder. Now when you use the bug powder as an item, that will cast the Panic All spell on one enemy, which will basically confuse that enemy. So that's a good item to have. Make the enemy attack themselves, always a good thing. Well, let's talk to this soldier. This town is famous for belly dancing. Alright, I can definitely stand to watch some of that. And if we go down into the theater here, check the note up on the wall here. It says, "Beware of fake dancers. Nothing is as good as it seems." Well, we might find out what that means a little bit later, but Talking to this guy, he says, sorry, the theater doesn't open till sunset. Don't interfere with the practice session, please. Shake 'em, ladies. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so apparently the theater will open at night and we can watch some belly dancing. It's just a practice session now, so we'll definitely want to come back to this town at night. And maybe the nightlife will be a lot more so than what the day life is. And if we talk to this lady, she just confirms that this is the town of Ashland. And last but not least, I want to talk to this guy today. He says, it must have been years ago, but the hero Ortega went south for a key. However, I think Ortega was strong enough to keep going on without having to find the magic key. I'd like to be a man like him. So the magic key is apparently not in this town, but we may have to go south to find it. And we'll continue our quest for that magic key again next time. So I do thank you for watching today's episode of Let's Play Dragon Warrior 3. This has been Vortex 259. We'll see you again next time.